Hello and welcome to this session of Talking Tech, Women and Girls in ICT. My name is Viola Zeqi CHEN, and today I'm delighted to have a discussion about tech careers with Carrie WANG, Director of Data Science Systems. Talking Tech is a series celebrating growth and women in tech as a part of the initiative of Growth in ICT Day, which is an international day marked on the fourth Thursday of April. The objective is to help create a global environment that encourages young women to consider studies or careers in the fields of ICT, information technology, communication technologies. The Talking Tech series is brought to you by the ITU, UNICC, and the Office of the UN Secretary General's Envoy on Youth. And it is in support of Equals, the global partnership for gender equality in the digital age. Hi, Carrie. Thank you for joining me today. To kick things off, would you mind introducing yourself a little bit to our audience and talking about what your current job is about?
Okay. Well, I have worked in a cross-border investment project management in Shanghai for many years. And now currently I manage an AI consulting company and data science system in London.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm really interested into your experiences, but we will come back to that later. Now, to start our conversation, I would like to ask you a few questions from the very beginning of your tech studies and careers. So my question is, when did you start to be interested in STEM or ICT related subjects?
Well, it's really started when I was a child. I was fascinated about science fiction. So actually, I watched most of the science fiction books or movies, which ultimately led to me studying civil engineering at university back to 20 years ago.
Oh, that would be fascinating. It's a good start for a kid to know more about the science, the STEM world as well. And do you think it influenced your choice for your future studies or careers? Do you choose specific subjects to pursue, or do you have any following on to as this your interest in science fiction?
Well, I studied civil engineering, and partly I would say I worked for this company which helped US and European company have FDI projects in China. So we start from site selection till the whole EPCM. Well, I would need to work with different disciplines, engineers and local councils, local government, we would call that in China, to figure out the building requirements. So with my engineer background, it would be good for me to also discover my interest in business. Yeah, if that makes sense.
So my next question is, did you face any difficulties in this journey for your engineering background or your later working with them? Do you think, yeah.
Yeah, of course. I was born in 1970s China. So and this industry generally was male dominated.
Yeah,
so
of course.
It's hard for females to feel included and be supported. I think at that time, my most frustration is in the same role, I always pay less as my male colleague. And even I present some meetings with some younger male colleagues, people might think I'm a secretary, even I have at that time higher role or position. And that caused me to develop a kind of manly business attitude. So not only, bossy, but a bit like, you have to sometimes kind of think like a man and a little bit of behavior like a man.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel, am I lost to my female,
female characters.
Yeah, well, that was at that time. I would say that was a challenge, and also by stereotype of female can't take STEM, industries, and this there are always the unconsciousness bias between female and male. And also in this field, I think the skills, you need constant to upgrade your skills to stay relevant, which could cause your work and the life balance. So to have problem, especially female need to take more roles in a greater roles in family. The responsibility, which could cause, I think, in the same situation, in the same role, it causes female more probably easily burnout and stress. That's
it's true. It's true. Yeah, I think there's still so many problems in today's life, in our generation as well. We still may face with the unequal pace for today, even for today, and we still face the glass ceiling in our career progress. So I think there's so many problems that still exist, and also that the leadership part. As when I study gender equality and I find that there's a kind of concept that are so rooted that we equal masculinity with leadership. However, femininity is about weakness and such things. So when we're trying to lead something, we kind of become a man, as you said, to lose our female characters. However, there are some studies and there's some arguments that female can have different kinds of leadership, and also even in international relations, such men-dominated masculinity subjects and war studies, such power kind of studies, that there's still some ideas that kind of feminism international relations theory that we could adopt more cooperative ways to communicate between countries, between some different stakeholders. So I think femininity there's no superiority between masculinity or femininity, as just sometimes we need to choose different kinds of approach to deal with different kinds of problems or issues. So that's my part to respond with that. That's my share of thoughts.
Well, females are definitely better than in cooperation than guys.
Yeah. And also I think for the current age, for the current world, we need more collaborations than confrontations.
I also believe, especially of pandemic, I think we need united more than ever, separate with each other.
True. But during the COVID day, the women suffered more than men to many reasons. That's many kind of findings from many reports. So unfortunate story, and shows our progress back 30 years. So we can share. I can share with you more stories about that later.
I'm glad to know more about it.
My next question is, so your current job is to do with AI and other advanced technologies. So what do you specifically do, and why and how did you choose to change your career to this area?
So what I'm currently doing is we provide data science system, we provide algorithm, machine learning and natural language processing to industries. And we really interested, we would like to devote ourselves in healthcare, especially. Even London is a finance-based city. Of course, we got a lot of approaches from financial companies, but we actually thinking maybe we could shift our time more in healthcare. So we also provide insight for leadership training and solutions to industries. We also supported a few startup companies. So one of our startup company last year has been acquired. And recently we started another initiative called Pharaoh AI, which is to provide AI ethics tool to mitigate the bias in algorithm and machine learning. And why I shift from engineer or I'm still engineer. I would like to call myself still engineer.
Yeah.
I shift from project management to AI is actually I started working on specialized robots since 2018. So not this kind of commercial robots, but robots which can replace human labors, which
labor force,
rather in like a
in factories,
or like mining or electrical power or anywhere could have any casualty by a dangerous working condition or work background. We would like to use robotics to replace human being to save human's life, and of course, meanwhile, can improve the efficiency of the work itself. So start 2018, and then to data science systems. Then I was very ill in 2020. During my chemotherapy, I was still continuously let's see, keep upgrade my skills, still keep learning data analysis at that time, because I'm from this engineer. I don't really have computer science background. That's why in the company I'm working on business development, marketing, finance, and operations. Anything actually not really technical related, but I'm very lucky that I work with a pool of scientists, I would say. That's why in our working environment, we don't really have this EDI issue. This is, I guess, after being ill, I start to realize one person's life probably doesn't really matter as much. And I would like to really, contribute myself to the society and to be a light to others. Because I don't really have a computer science background, and in this AI world, I'm pretty much quite new. To the UK also, I'm quite new. So I was just, we've just discussed about a lot of like moral standard also during pandemic, during the world is being separated, everything literally. So we think that humans' laws being developed thousands of years, that AI also need to have a certain moral standard. I surely can't promote human rights in certain part of the world, but I surely can promote AI ethics everywhere. I think this is fundamentally to our humanity. It's not only to any individual countries or any individual nations, right? So that's how, that's my driven, that I switch from the engineering background to AI. Now, what I'm particularly interested in is in AI ethics.
So first of all, you are certainly light to people around you. And I'm sure you will be light to many of our audience who share the same kind of vision and ambition to change the world. They want to use the AI or other technology to help to raise up human rights, realize gender equality, or such cause that worth our devotion and dedication. So I'm sure that our audience will think that your story will inspire them and encourage them to continue their course. And second is that for sure AI ethics is quite important for an urgent issue in recent days, that the ChatGPT developed so fast. We kind of worry about development of general AI and how they are going to change our life. Like will they become the same version like the science fiction movies that threat our life the near future in next 100 years. So certainly we need to put shackles to IS development as well as to the robots itself. And I think it's kind of a cause that worth your devotion and worth your changing your career. And so my next question is, Do you have any example that what of the things you have done that you are particularly proud of relating to the tech?
For some of the projects we're currently working on, as I said, we're quite focusing healthcare. So we particularly use machine learning to, instead of human do have errors when we have a diagnosis from the CT scan or MRI scan, but machine learning itself could have the accuracy rate could be very high. So we particularly use machine learning to help a lung scan patient to improve, at least I would say, the chance of misdiagnosis, because there could be a lot of patients, a lot of people you might had when they were diagnosed cancer, they were already stage 3, stage 4, as I was. I was not lung cancer, but they are because for lung cancer there's a lot of data rather relatively easy to access, because here in the West, there's after Brexit, there's more and more difficulty to get real data. That's why we generate our algorithm to generate synthetic data to analysis let's say images of lung disease. So that's one of the projects we've been working on for many years, our team. I would say this is something personally I'm really proud of, because to work
helping
with
people,
because to work with a group of scientists and doctors and also engineers, rather software engineers. Yeah, I would say a lot of people, they work really hard during COVID time. They calculate the death rate, the infect rate, and those things, all generated by a lot of people, scientists, and work behind the scene that hopefully, well, peace to the world. Another thing I would say I'm proud of, which could be when I was in China, despite of the development of China, actually there is still a big part in China is underdeveloped. So I used to visit a lot of places, tried to help around more than 10 provinces, kids in rural areas. So we delivered them computer equipment and also offer them English lessons. I would say most time I feel myself learn more from them than actually we can bring to them. This is back to the previous one of your previous question, why I switch, because again, I probably can't promote certain kind of rights, but I'd like to promote this, the upcoming digitalization or ChatGPT's threaten to humanity. I would like to promote it in areas it's not everybody could reach it or cover it. We are just lucky as general public. We're probably in a very good environment that we can access the first-hand technology and news and everything. But bear in mind, there is still, as you work in the UN, there's
so
still
people,
the rest of the population don't have much of the information access. So yeah, so that's the second thing I would like to say. I was proud of myself when I was in China, but I haven't done much for China since I moved to the UK. So
but I think you're doing for the overall humanity, because we really need the AI ethics and also such advanced technology to change the overall life equality of the world. So I
think what we can do is really to educate the next or the future generation for a better, peaceful world, really.
Yeah. That's our shared vision and shared mission to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so maybe could you please share with us your lessons learned from your tech career from a female perspective?
Lessons learned. Actually, well, I would say many years ago, when I worked in Shanghai, what I learned is to be tough at that time and really work hard. I would say now even this entire environment probably more higher competitive, because sometimes you feel, oh my gosh, it's like all the genius is at your doorstep in London, because it seems London's AI investment is more than, I think, New York, Singapore, Paris, and Berlin's combined. So typically you will think that the best place is in Silicon Valley, but actually, I don't know, I think it's London. So it can have a quite a big stress. Like I said, I need to constantly upgrade myself. Even during my chemotherapy, I was still having online study that was locked down, everything. Well, you can't stop. Like as far as life goes on, you might have a physical problem. Actually, to do something to keep your brain active is also good. And I've been very supportive by my husband and my family here in the UK, and yeah, and my the group of people I work with, and a lot of female scientists actually. So I would say I'm very lucky to be here, as because have this. Well, I just feel like I'm quite grateful every day. You know, even being in a illness situation, but you can still have constant the latest technologies and everything. I think it would be very hard for female in my generation in China to get the same level of access. So with the engineer background to have a broader role into this business context, I think, well, to be fair, because I think London is a pioneer in EDI. So yeah, I was just, sometimes I think everybody's smart. It's just if you're in the right environment, you have the same opportunity and same level of access to everything, everybody could achieve a lot. And that's why I was thinking, you know, to build this AI ethics. At the beginning, we were thinking to build an AI ethics foundation because it could reach more and give more education to, well, general public like me. So yeah, I hope that answer your question.
Yeah, for sure. I also started to know about EDI when I was studying in King's College London. So I joined the EDI committee of my school, and it's a part of the kind of the overall committee of the whole university. So I'm kind of honored or kind of fortunate to work with them for a year. And I really feel that even within the school, the change is so difficult to make. Not to mention that for the world to really achieve EDI, to achieve quality in so many senses, certainly worth of long-term efforts and devotion. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm also happy that we have you, such a powerful, like have influential woman in this area, and you're using your mind, your everything to help us to pursue this way. So really grateful for that.
Well, thank you. Because I'm just lucky, you know, because a lot of meetings I've attended in the UK, in London, I noticed I've often not necessarily only female, but definitely the kind of only Chinese female in a lot of meetings and conference. It seems that's why, yeah, I like to promote ethical AI.
So yeah, I just heard that you work with many companies in this ICT or AI related industries. So did you meet any women leaders like you? And can you describe your impression of them?
Yeah, I'm very lucky. Yes, I do meet a lot of them, and I personally work with a few female scientists. They're around my age, actually. They work really hard because most people work as a scientist. They chose to devote their time in some not really, we will think, not really worthily payoff kind of job.
Oh, for sure.
And they work a long time, and they're really selflessness. So some of the females leaders I work with, she start up an AI startup incubator, which doesn't make much, fortune to herself at all, and also being through difficulties during pandemic. But they create a lot of AI startups in London and create a very good environment and ecosystem in AI startup circle. So those things actually, as what I witness, is started by females. Even in the industries, we lack of female role models, we lack of female leaders, which maybe can cause we have not that greater impact in this field. But actually, I start to notice there is more and more female in London, probably because of the city is very much promoting EDI. Then you can see a lot of female leaders. But we'd like to see more Asian, Chinese, young ladies, girls like you will come to the stage soon. Yeah.
And also I want to share with you, it's true that there's a finding from the report of ITU that dating back to 2018, there's several reports indicating that they did some surveys and some research in, I think, in Africa and the Middle East, in such areas, which is kind of lack entrepreneurship or online such technologies. However, there's tendency that there will be more women than men to adopt new advanced technologies such as online shopping or online business, and there will be more women entrepreneurship in that area, which focusing on the online technology or use the latest technology. And so my last question finally. So this series is about girls and women in technology. Do you have any advice for those young girls and women?
I would like to say, follow your heart, but to be true to yourself. Follow your passion. In general, I would say, be who you are, be a good person. For career-wise, you should follow your passion, really, what leads you to. So your passion currently is in EDI or gender equity or environment. And because in different age, we probably do have different agenda. So just follow your passion and heart. But to be true to yourself. That's very important.
Yeah, very wise advice.
Thank you.
And so finish my question for you. Do you have any question for me?
So when did you start to interested in this tech session? And would you like to tell me in general about
my story with technology? So I started to be interested in technology since I was in university. I watched a lot of documentaries in this area, and I want to keep updated with the trend of digital age. So I choose a course called Technology and International Relations when I pursued my master's degree at King's College London. And I specifically choose the topic of technology and feminism for my essay. And this is where I start to explore the dynamics between technology and gender equality. So, and since last year, I was fortunate to work with this ITU Liaison office to the UN. And I really learned a lot how technology is related to so many areas to EDI, to SDG, and how severe gender equality is in technology and other STEM fields. I championed this Talking Tech project to connect girls and girl students of ICT or STEM-related subjects to women leaders in tech. So we hope that it will encourage those girls and young women to continue their studies or pursue their careers in tech in their future life. So far, I'm proud of that. I have successfully matched 10 pairs of girls and women from 12 countries for this intergenerational interview. So yeah, that's my story so far. And I think I will continue to follow the latest updates of advanced technology, including AI, metaverse, digital twins, etc. So I think they will provide great weapon, and there will be great tools for me to use in every field I work in, and to facilitate my programs and overall progress of the organization. And I also want to encourage girls and young women around me to consider or try the studies or careers in tech. And I hope from them, there will be more girls and women being inspired by them. So there will be pass on kind of spirits that women and girls can choose every kind of areas they want to work in, they want to study, they can be a tech leader themselves.
I see. So you've already covered all of your next step of plan and your message to the young girls.
Yeah. I really hope that it will inspire some people.
Yeah, and from what you said, you use the word weapon a few times. I noticed, if you don't mind, I would say you're a little fighter, and I'm very happy for you to go on this route. You don't have to, do whatever one of the boys do, but be true to yourself.
Yeah, thank you. That's a lesson I learned from you.
I'm really happy for you, for the young generation like you. Nice that you'll continually spread the good news, the hope to the younger generations. It's what we can do, right? Always have hope. And the greatest is love, I think. We really think probably different agenda as politicians, really, but we have to fight for ourselves as general public.
Yeah, that's basically our questions for each other. So that wraps up our session today for Talking Tech, Women and Girls in ICT. Thank you so much, Carrie. I really enjoyed our conversation. I learned a lot from your experiences, and I'm grateful for your advice. I wish you the best of your future career and your life. And finally, many thanks to our audience. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye.